All right, man, I wanted to give you a simple demonstration about what I meant in regards to the change between 60 hertz and 120 hertz being, or actually between 120 to 60 being a little bit brutal. So let me show you FIFA as an example. FIFA will run at 60 frames per second. Or actually better yet, let me not use FIFA, let me use Miles Morales. So Miles Morales will run at 60 frames per second. Oh, of course, there's an update, so let's see if we can use something else. We could use God of War. God of War does run at 60. So, we could use that as an example. Notice how clear sort of the transition is between God of War and from like the interactive menu to this, right? No problem. Loading is also a little bit slower because I'm not sure if you noticed, but I have a little hard drive on the bottom right hand corner where the PS4 games play from. So there's that. All right, so we're running it at 60 frames per second. There's no problem there. I'm gonna let it load into the game and then I am actually gonna close out of it. All right, and so as you can tell, 60 frames per second, no problem. Walk right through the world, you can play, right? And so now, pay attention to the way the game closes. So I'm gonna go to home, and I'm gonna close the game. Closing this game's app, right? So the game closes, no problem. Now, let's open up Call of Duty. Now, Call of Duty is one of the games that can actually run at 120 frames per second. So our Call of Duty, this is actually playing from my PS5 M2. So you notice that it asked me for the aspect ratio of my TV. That's because it made a change between 60 and 120 hertz already. So right now, it's running at 120. And so all I really need to do to show you what I meant in terms of going from 120 to 60 and how brutal it was is that I can just close it once I reach the multiplayer menu. So I get to multiplayer, right? And then now what I want to do is I actually want to go to the menu option, right? Home. And if I close out of this, watch what happens. You notice that? You notice how there's a bit of tearing before it goes from 120 to 60 frames per second? I don't like that. I'm not sure if that's if it's supposed to be implemented that way, but I feel like the change, excuse me, between 120 and 60 shouldn't be causing any kind of tearing on the TV. So I don't like that. And so that's essentially what I meant. Outside of that, I guess the TV works just fine. I don't see any artifacts while playing the game. And I don't see any artifacts while I'm out when it switches back to 60. So, you know, it's okay. If you have any questions, just let me know, man.